This is Plant-Based Briefing, How a High-Fiber Diet Promotes Weight Loss from a Doctor Who Lost 50 Pounds, Part 2 by Lucy Dangizer at thebeet.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, host of this curated content plant-based podcast, where I narrate with permission a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living. And today's article is the second of a two-parter. I read part 1 yesterday, so go back and listen to that first if you haven't already, and then come back here for part 2. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. How a high-fiber diet promotes weight loss from a doctor who lost 50 pounds, part 2 by Lucy Dangizer at thebeet.com. Fiber and metabolism. Your metabolism is like the engine of a car, explains Dr. Bulsiewicz. You can slow the gas burning by keeping the fuel steady, not revving the engine and then coasting, which is what happens when you eat sugar, since your energy goes way up and then way down. Or you can put your foot on the pedal steadily and go at an even speed, not revving and coasting, but at a nice steady rate. That's what fiber does. It keeps your metabolism burning steadily for hours. Just think of this. After your sugar high, then you essentially are taking your foot off the gas pedal. A coasting car gets passed by a slow rolling car, so even if it's going at 30 miles per hour, that steadily moving car will run better and further, says Dr. B. You will lose weight by eating more fiber. Metabolism is like that, he explains. Fiber is like cruise control. You just keep going and never run out of fuel or get hungry for more. You just keep burning it. And that is what helps you lose weight. You never run out of energy and don't need to keep eating again shortly after your last meal or snack. Fiber keeps you fuller longer, which is key to weight loss. As for the secret to having a fast metabolism, stop counting calories. They don't tell the whole story, says Dr. B. Instead, I count plants, and the more the better. Your microbiota bacteria are not all the same. Some respond to an apple, others to kale, and still others to citrus. To have the fastest metabolism or the healthiest weight loss, you have to mix it up and eat different kinds of plants, he says. HighFiber Foods to add to your diet. There are so many great sources of fiber. Here are 10 HighFiber foods. Apples have 4 grams of fiber in 1 apple. Avocados, 10 grams of fiber in 1 cup of avocado. Beans, 9 grams of fiber in a half-cup serving of shelled edamame. Berries, nearly 4 grams of fiber in 1 cup of blueberries. Broccoli, 5 grams of fiber per cup of cooked broccoli. Chia seeds, there are 10 grams of fiber in 1 ounce of chia seeds. Dried fruits, 12 grams of fiber in 1 cup of prunes, 9 grams in 1 cup of dried apricots. Popcorn, about 1 gram of fiber in 1 cup of popcorn. Potatoes, 1 small potato with skin can provide close to 3 grams of fiber. And nuts, there are 5 grams of fiber in a cup of ground walnuts, 3.5 in an ounce of almonds. There's also fiber in whole grains, such as 4 grams in a cup of oatmeal. Look for over 4 grams of fiber on your whole wheat bread and check the labels of whole wheat pasta, brown rice, and cereals. Look for 100% whole grains as the first ingredient on the label. What to eat in a day. Dr. Bulsiewicz shares what he eats in a day. Here are easy ways to get fiber into your diet. Breakfast, avocado toast with sauerkraut. It's easy to make avocado toast. I use sourdough bread, which is high in fiber, and ripe avocado, and you can add toppings such as chia seeds or chickpeas. I like a splash of vinegar and sauerkraut because it's fermented. It is super healthy for your gut and has 4 grams of fiber per cup. If you don't have an avocado on hand, make it with hummus or just have peanut butter and cinnamon on toast. People forget that peanut butter is made of plants. Lunch, soup or salad or a banh mi sandwich. When you eat a vegetable soup or a big salad full of greens, beans, peppers, onions, or other high-fiber foods, you set yourself up to not have that afternoon energy dip you may be used to. Even if you prefer to have a sandwich, try something like a banh mi sandwich, which is a French and Vietnamese-style sandwich full of tofu, pickled carrots, cilantro, and any other greens you want to add to it. The pickled carrots are also fermented, so that is great for you. Dinner. There are 125 recipes in the fiber-fueled cookbook. I'm a fan of healthy foods because they make me feel better. The healthiest diets in the world are those in the so-called blue zones identified by Dan Buttner as the regions with the highest density of people living 100 years or longer and living healthily. That means legumes, whole grains, and when I go to make dinner, I think, let's use that. So I'll make a mango burrito bowl full of farro or another healthy whole grain. But make it your own. Add vegetables, add quinoa, and anything you like. We are raising our first 2 kids plant-based, and our son is 5 and the size of an 8-year-old. Of course, my wife and I are both tall, but he is like a bean sprout, and he's never had a burger in his life. The other thing to make any night is a pasta sauce and use whole wheat pasta. There are ways to do it without tomatoes since a large part of the population is sensitive to them. Some people need to follow a low FODMAP diet, and there are ways to make these recipes adaptive for them. What is the best way to go plant-based? My advice for anyone who wants to eat a high-fiber diet and go plant-based is that you can do it gradually. For me, it was an evolution. 10 years ago, I was 50 pounds overweight with high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and I was very depressed. I had all this training at Georgetown and Northwestern and a GI fellowship, and yet no one taught me about this way of eating. I met my wife, and she was eating plant-based, and we went out to dinner, and here this person was thriving and loved the food she was eating. So I researched it and decided to try it. But as a doctor, I had 0 time and needed fast food. But instead of fast food for dinner, I started to make a smoothie at night. Your blender is a great fast food tool. I instantly felt more energized. My body found something that I'd been missing: fiber. Overnight, my skin changed, and over the months, my weight changed, and I doubled down and then tripled and quadrupled down and ate more plant-based. I thought, this is so powerful. I started voraciously consuming research into high-fiber diets, then started using it in my practice. I witnessed people having radical transformations. Their IBS reversed and their colitis went into remission. This became my story. I wrote it and sold over 200,000 copies of the book. I constantly feel like I am holding a secret in my hand and want to help other people have it too. Bottom line, high-fiber diets work for weight loss and overall well-being. To start eating more fiber-filled foods, simply add more vegetables and fruits to your daily diet and aim to get at least 25 grams of fiber a day if you're a woman, or 38 grams of fiber a day if you're a man. It will help regulate your immune system, lower inflammation, and make it easier to lose weight and keep it off. You just listened to How a High-Fiber Diet Promotes Weight Loss from a Doctor Who Lost 50 Pounds, Part 2, by Lucy Dangizer at thebeet.com. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and this is Plant-Based Briefing. And remember, when someone asks, where do you get your protein? You can say, from plants. Where do you get your fiber? And please share this important episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.